We can just dance the night away until we can shake all the hurt away, so you can feel and forget who you used to be. For just tonight, could you just dance the night away?
Now we are going to go to an NPC because after you're done crafting these, you'll go talk to this person, and they'll send you to go talk to an individual up here. This village of Butcher's Block is where you're going to go. This is the closest waypoint. It sometimes gets contested. I don't think it gets contested very often, but if it does, there's also one up Graham Hill and stuff. Now, this NPC is different because it doesn't require you to give them any items. They don't require any of the spirit wood that you have left, or the blood bricks, or the I think it's the dragon ore. But this one doesn't require anything. You do have to do a mission here. So, he's not a heart mission though. But this is the location that he's at. He's on the other side. You see that little shield there coming in? That is the vendor. That is what the vendor needs. You'll talk to the vendor here. He'll say, hey, he'll be standing right here. He's like invisible right now. You have to help escort this guy and his cows. And you have to have some of the cows survive. Otherwise, it's not going to activate. First time I did it, it took forever. So you see he's got cows?
More meat. This is all brought as requested. Oh well, there's plenty to go around. This meat is going to be spectacular. Stick around for the celebration. I think I will. I earned it.
So you'll sit here and you'll watch this interaction happen. He's actually going to walk over and butcher the animal. He'll walk as slow as humanly possible, and he'll slay each of the beasts. After he's done slaying them, obviously talk to him first, but after he's done slaying them, he'll then be able to talk, you'll be able to buy a recipe from him. But this is where the butchering, or watching him butcher it, is the achievement you're getting. And he'll walk back over here, and he'll get his little icon back to let you know he's can be bought from. It takes a sweet time. Alright, so he's back to buying. So you'll be able to buy from him. He'll have different recipes. Gonna have you go outside the walls of the city to kill stag and crimson moa. Just keep killing them until they drop meat, and they'll drop specific kind of cuts, and that'll be part of the achievement. Keep the meat that you get from them. You're gonna need one of the meats for some of the for later in the achievement. Okay, so this is gonna be your human NPC that you're gonna talk to. Now, this individual is going to have two recipes they're going to buy. One's called flatbread, and one's called a special kind of flour. It's not called special kind of flour specifically, but it's a specific kind of flour. I'll show you what it looks like. I can't really pronounce it because I've never heard it out loud, so I don't know how to say it properly. But it's going to cost you 1 gold piece to basically get both of them. And the flatbread's going to be extremely useful. But essentially, he's the same as everyone else. You just tell him he's got 3 recipes. That will move those recipes. Alright, this is the first the first recipes they give you. It's a lotus. It's gonna also be garlic and stuff, and it's gonna be a jar of vegetable oil and soy sauce. And now I don't have the specific thing, but basically this is the situation that's going on with it. And it'll be in the Discovery channel. You open it, and then you craft it, and there you go. I crafted it earlier, so that's why I don't have the ingredients for it. But then we'll move on to the next one. That one's this basic one. All of these are basically, these 2 are farmable, and these 2 are the NPC that you can get. Okay, this is the flatbread rare, right? The flatbread is actually really useful because you'll actually need it to craft a specific ascension food that I tend to use. It's not required, but when you buy the recipe, you'll buy this recipe, and you'll buy this one, which is the flour that I was talking about, the special flour. Now, I don't craft very much of this because it gets kind of expensive. Then you have to kind of weigh and balance it. These, you may have to buy from the vendor if you don't have hot, or buy from the TP if you don't have hot. These ones you can buy from the NPC. So, nothing crazy, nothing's insane. And you can craft that, and that's that.
Look at this.
And we'll move on to the last one. The last one's going to be, it's going to be a little bit doozy, but not hard. Alright, and this is the other one. Now, this one's actually relatively looks like a lot, but it's really not. This is a raw ingredient that you can either buy from the market, or you can actually get it from the NPC, from the trading post. Now, you'll see that you have a lot of them. I think there's like 3 total for this part, There's a little bit more, I think. There's definitely 3 here. Now, you'll see that this part's going pretty deep into it. You have it'd be butter, vanilla, water, sugar. Craft that. Makes this. Craft 1. Boom. There you go. And there's your chocolate icing. Now, this is just basically a basic baker's ingredients. It'll be flour, baking soda, salt, sugar. All of these come from the NPC. You don't have to do any farming. Just go to the NPC, buy it from them. Boom. This one is from the NPC. Farming, and farming. So you can also buy these from the NPC, from trade posts as well. Butter is dropped by bandits a lot of times, so there's a few. If you end up finding some bandits, you can try and farm them for butter. But yeah, butter's pretty expensive. It's every one's there. Then you'll take these and you put them in discovery, and then you craft it, and you'll have the last bit of the human territory. Now, I also have to stumble upon this cat here by accident and started talking to it. If you still have the fire flare steak, which I do from the crafting, you can give it to him. First, happily. I think that puts a cat in your home instance. I don't know. Either way, it's kind of nice. So you'll come back to him and you'll talk to him. He'll say, okay, cool. You need to go talk to this NPC. Now, this NPC is still located in Divinity, and specifically, he is right here. Now, I don't know what he'll look like for you as a player, because he may not pop up immediately. But you'll teleport to Duena's waypoint, and he'll be down there. You can also teleport to the bank up here, and just jump down with a glider, or run down the ramp. But we'll go over there to talk to him real quick, and I'll show you the NPC so you can see his face. Alright, we've made it to the NPC. He is down here. I believe when you first talk to him, I don't know if he's got coins on his head or not. He's down here at the bottom. You'll talk to him. He'll tell you about the heating stone. So he'll take the 3 heating stones that you have, and you will take them to a different to a specific spot in the mountains to try and heat it up. So give me a second while we move over that way. Okay, it is Maelstrom. That's the map we're in. Sorry, I couldn't remember which mountain it was. It's called Mount something. It's Mount Maelstrom. Now, I'm at this waypoint here. This waypoint sometimes gets contested. If it does, the next year's waypoint is probably over here that's safest. This one's slightly closer, but it's not as safe because it's inside the mountain, and things happen in the mountain. But you'll go from here, and you'll look around a little bit. You'll have a little crown over here. It'll look like a little square with a crown on it. But you don't have to worry about flying up there. Don't panic. I'm just using this mount because I'm lazy. But you can, I think, just kind of walk up there from here. Sometimes the element will spawn here with this shiny thing in, so be careful. But it will have you kind of come up here, and like I said, you can walk up here because I've done it, and have you stand somewhere on here. You'll have a little thing, and it'll have you heat up. Might be a little lower, if I remember correctly, but you'll see it. It'll be right here. It'll have you heat up the stones, and it will turn them into a specific item. What's the item called? It's called Empowered Heat Stones. And then you take them back to Divinity to the same guy, because this guy's going to take your reheated or superheated heat stones and your bloodstone bricks to build you a new oven, because you're going to need a new oven to be able to craft cool stuff. It's part of the reason why my homestead has 2 ovens, because my oven, your basic oven, is kind of not good enough for your, like, how your premium is kind of thing. Now, give me a second, and I will head back to Divinity, and we will talk to the NPC. Alright, you'll come back to here, tell him that you have the stones and the bloodstone rocks that he wants, and then when you do, it'll tell you to go to your homestead. Now, the closest homestead the closest home you're gonna have is this one over here, and this is gonna be your waypoint. So I'll go over there. Now, granted, when you go over there into your home, he'll actually be there, and he'll walk there from your front door to the to where your oven's gonna be placed, like inside this little area, be in its own little instance. So when I go there, you won't see him, but when you do it, you'll see him. And normally, all I do is follow him. So he kind of takes his sweet time, but I kind of just follow him just for safety, and I don't leave the area until he's done putting it down. He's a slow walker, but that's about it. Alright, now when you get in here, he'll come walking in this door, and he'll walk down this way. He'll be holding a crate, and he'll walk all the way over to where your oven is. If I remember correctly, it's like up and around over here. Yeah, it's up and around this corner. He's really slow walking, but he'll get there. And then he'll come here, and when you see it, you won't see this oven here until he decides to sit and put it down. And then, boom, you'll have this fancy oven that can now cook better things in, quote unquote. And then you get the little present thing. Now, we move on to the Asuran lands, where you will encounter the last three recipes and an NPC. This NPC that we're going to encounter, we're going to need 15 gold outright to cough up, because, man, doesn't do nothing for free. And if you've still got that meat on you, then you're doing good. But hang in there while we head to the Savarian land, the Asuran land. Alright, we have landed in the Asuran lands. Now, I didn't land on the one that I linked. I think I linked to this one, but I just picked one. But it's down here. And this area is very well known for its crafting sections. I'm pretty sure it's the green one we want here. Now, I think it's this one, right? Yes. Now, you'll notice that with this particular area that this NPC gets hidden, similar to the char, so you can't really see him very well with the waypoint there. You can see the pot a little bit sticking out, but not much, but he's right here. Now, you'll talk to him, he'll give you the recipe, so I'm going to go over here and we're going to pretend that we have the recipe ready to go, and then we've talked to him, and this is the first one he'll want you to make, right? It'll be basic ingredients outside of eggs and vanilla. You get these from the TP. This is from the NPC, the chefing NPC. Same chef. This one right here is going to be an important thing to make. This is also why we need the Karma Farmer for Mango and Trinity. This is why. This particular one is used for healing foods, or one of the healing foods that I make, and it's really useful. We're going to craft this, and we're going to craft some more wet ingredients. And then you would put this in Discovery, and you would be able to make that. That's the first recipe. Now I'm going to move on to the next recipe real quick, and then we're going to move, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so here is the other recipe. And you'll notice that I don't have salt and pepper, so I'm going to craft it because I have the ingredients. But you can also buy the salt and pepper, it doesn't matter. These basically things can be farmed or bought off the line. Same with the butter. You'll craft that in Discovery, not this one, but Discovery. And that will be the second one. Now we'll do the last one. Like I said, these ones, the Asuran ones went real fast. Luckily, their recipes are relatively uncomplicated, but they expect more money right up front. So go figure. Alright, so this is the recipe that he wants you to do last. Now, this right here will not pop in as an automated recipe. This is a Discovery one. You can also buy it off the post if you would like. Though I would suggest crafting it just so you have it. But it's 5 candy corn. It is, and you can buy this off the post. These two things come from the NPC. So you would craft one of those, and then you would craft this, and you put this in Discovery, and that would be that. Now, after you've crafted these things, you come over here, talk to him, say, hey, I've done it. He will send you downstairs to another NPC. This NPC, you will buy the rights to craft this particular composter. So I can't remember which side he's on, but he's like here in a weird spot. I want to say, I think he's right here by the visa. Yep. No, not him. He's one of the little desk guys. But this is where you need the 15 gold, and you're gonna need to buy it from him. He will basically just give you a bunch of stuff. So you'll come talk to him now, and he'll want you to go and fry a particular piece of meat. All right. Sorry, I had to make sure I checked the order. So when you come up to him, you'll have to buy the rights to his like invention or something. It's 5 gold. You buy it from him, and he'll tell you to go upstairs and craft the meat that he wants. Give me a second. I'm going to go up there real quick. Because this is why I said keep that cut from earlier, because this is what's going to make that. It's also important, other than it being a harder drop to find, generally speaking, it's also important because it's also used in DPS food and Condi food. So if you're going to use your food to make for friends, then this is what you're going to do. Now, he wants us to I found it. I couldn't find it because I was putting the wrong thing in. I was putting this part in and I was like, that's not it. So this is what you're going to make. That cut that you got from earlier, the one I told you to keep, this is what you're using it for. You craft it. This is important because you can use this in other foods. You're going to take it downstairs to him first. But after this, this is going to be something you're going to need to craft DPS and Condi exotic ascended foods for groups of people. So if you're going to do raids, strikes, fracs, normally strikes and raids are the ones you're going to want to do it for. Or open world stuff like metas and stuff. That's normally why you would put down ascended food. I think there's only one fractal that I'll put ascended food down, and that's normally tower. Only tower because it's a lot of work. You'll bring this to him. After you bring this to him, he will have stuff listed that he'll have you buy, and you have to buy all of them from him. And I have a list as to what they are. With the achievement, I'll show you the achievement because it's a lot easier to show you in the achievement. All the stuff that you buy from him. He'll buy the license to talk to get to make the product he needs. He's basically gonna make you a spatula or something. You bring the meat to him, and then he'll buy 2 more things. So it's 15 gold right there. And that's all you have for that. Now, you'll notice by the time you get to this point, you're like, well, where is these 2 things, the composter and the garden deed? This is where the end of your achievements are going to come into play. Because now, you're going back to the grove, and you're going to go talk to that mender. And you're going to show him that you have it, but you have to go and craft it first. Now, before you leave here, I would go upstairs and go back to your chefing. But that's where you're going to unlock it, because after you buy it from him, he'll have all the components to craft it for yourself. It's actually a relatively cheap thing to build. Do not delete this from your inventory, mind you. It is extremely important. Sorry, I went the wrong direction. It is extremely important that you don't delete it, because if you do, you'll have to either remake it or you'll have to pay like 50 gold to get it back. You know. It's not exactly something you want to do. And you need it to craft seeds and stuff, so it's kind of important. But here it is. Where is it? Not that. This right here. It's under crafting components. This is where the last 4 spirit planks come in, and that the leather. You use it to craft it, and there you go. You'll get this after you buy all that stuff from him. Pick this in, and I have mine in my inventory, so I'll show you where it's at. You have it in your inventory. You take it back to him. To the mender. Now I'm going to go teleport there, and I will restart it when I get there. Okay, we've made it back to him. You will walk up to him, tell him you have the composter, and he will give it to you. He'll give you the garden deed, and then you have garden spots. Now, I'm going to actually go to my homestead to show you what these look like, but that should be all that there is for this thing. I did make notes on the paper as well, so if I missed something, sorry. But we're going to go to my homestead. I'm going to show you the importance of having the composter. Because I did tell you to keep all of these recipes, right? And there's a reason I said to keep all of them. Because, I'll show you soon. Give me a second while we get in there. Alright, we've made it back to my homestead. Now, this is where I'm going to show you what this thing does. Why this is important. I always you can have it break down things based on rarity, similar to the Craft-O-Matics and stuff. I always say do stack. Because you don't want to break down like your fishing stuff like I have here, because then you lose it, or if you have white fish in your inventory, it's a problem, right? But you can break down this stuff and you get these. Now these are important because you're going to need them to craft better ascended seeds if you choose to make ascended food. And if you choose to make ascended food for the purpose of like making fishing foods and things, which I also showcase, then this is something you're going to need. All right, give me a second while I break down everything. I'm going to break everything but the flat. I'm pretty sure the flat's needed. But as you can see, it looks kind of like certain things will drop a chance of like a certain thing, right? They have a chance of dropping rare or fine or something of that nature. And then some things are guaranteed to only drop a specific thing. It's based on the rank of the food. Like this particular food right here is a required 75. It's going to be probably closer to fine or rare because of what it is and that kind of thing. And some of them are just kind of fickle and weird. Now, this gets me to the other point. In my inventory, you probably saw me have these. These are the ones I craft on a regular basis when I want to make seeds. The reason I craft them is because they're relatively cheap. I'm going to show you what they look like recipe-wise. I think some of them are discovery, but I can't remember which ones. So one is the dessert, which is this one. Which one's this one? I make 10 of them at least per like seed that I want to make, and because I have the full instant, like the full all the nodes on this one, I make 12. So I make 120 of them. So I get 120 of these berries here, and sugar, and then I craft a bunch of them up, and then I break them down. I'm only going to break down 10 to showcase to you why we're breaking them, why we want these particular things. But this is the cheapest one you can get for the exotics. Then there is the loaf that I always end up making, which is this. I made 5 of them, but when I normally make it for my entire nodes, I'll make 60. Because like I said, I have all of the nodes, but it's 5 per seed that you want to make. And this is for the avocado one. This one requires you to go to a vendor and get the avocados. And then this one requires the vendor, the chef vendor. Then you have to go mine or farm these. And this is from another heart vendor that I think is in Maelstrom as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that. But you make like it, and then you'll make another one. And then that's how you get this one. I have 5, so you need at least 5 per seed that you want to make. And then applesauce is the last one. Now, with applesauce, you don't actually have to make it yourself. It's so cheap, you can actually buy it. And I'd buy it 5 at a time per thing. Now, you're probably wondering why these weird numbers. Why 5, 5, 5, and 10? Okay, so we're going to put these away because I don't want these to throw you off a little bit. So, these right here, the 4 things I craft daily if I want to craft, the things I want to craft if I want to have seeds. I don't always make ascended seeds. I kind of fluctuate. Now we're going to break this down. See, there's some blues, and these are the greens, mastery level. This is rare, and these are exotic. Now,
Rare treasure.
the reason I pick these specifically is because they have a guarantee of dropping these every single time. And if you start trying to randomly pick them, it becomes a problem. And for me, they're the cheapest thing that I can afford to craft. Now, we are going to go in here and I'm going to craft mint, right? This is the Ascended recipe that you'll get. And this is essentially what you're doing. You're going to take these things, the 5 flavors, craft them, and you basically make essentially a kind of an all-over spice. Then you can get this compost from the chefing NPC beside you after you've done the achievement. I think it's preferred 2, and you make 1 of these. Then you can buy these seeds, which is what I normally do. I normally buy them off the post. I don't sit there and try to wait to get them. I happen to get some recently just because I found them, because you can also harvest these. Just get in rare random chance. But you'll get these. When you first start out, you'll only be able to make ascended seeds. But you'll notice that in my garden, I don't have ascended seeds. These are basic seeds. And if I mine them, they say growing. But if I remove them, I have to put this on. So you see how my 1 and 5 went away? That means I can remove this. Be very careful with ascended food, though, when you do this, because ascended food doesn't respawn. So you'll take this, and if you have something there, which for you when you first start, you'll have nothing, then you'll remove it. It'll have open soil. When you first see it, you'll see 4 spots, and they'll be called open soil. But you can plant your ascended food in there. Now, when reset happens, this food right here will say grow. It'll grow until reset, and then when reset happens, you can farm it. I will get mint back, and I'll show you real quick what that looks like. But if you notice, I just mined this because I'm going to show you something else with that. But when you get the seeds back, and I have seeds. Let's see if I can find it. Since mint is a healing thing, this is my healing food that I use. I like outgoing healing. There are several different healing ones you can do. There's a bunch of lists for them. I like this one. But when you get it, you'll get a mint back. You'll be able to farm it, and you'll get this. You'll see I have 8. Now, this is why I said this, if you choose to use this as a healing food, this is important because of the fruit thing. Of the fruit topping salad. If you craft this, you get the pink. And here's the thing, there is no like limit. It only depends on this. Now, say you don't feel like crafting all this, you don't need it. What I normally do is I keep 7 of these on hand at all time. So I would craft 7 of these healing stuff. So we're gonna see. I need to get more passion fruit. But say I did 7, right? Let's see if because I have the 7 leaves, right? I would keep these 7 on me, and then any extra I would either save or you can sell them. So if you don't want to craft a cinder food, say you keep a certain amount on you, maybe you only keep 7 for, maybe not even that, maybe you don't even want to do that. You can sell these on the post, right? They get really expensive really soon, but for 7, sorry, I meant to pull that just a little bit. That's 2 gold. That's 2 gold right there. And if you made 4 outright, that is 2 gold like daily, right? Now, that's pretty freaking good. And healing or mint is used in a lot of healing foods. It's an extremely popular one. I think another popular one is popcorn and cilantro. I always do cilantro. I tend to plant 6 cilantro, and then I tend to plant 3 sesame. The sesame I use for celestial armor and gears, which is for people who are randomly running around with a random set. And I make 7 of those for anyone. Boon, there is like foods that you can use for boons and stuff, but normally boon players will bring their own food because they have specific boons that they want to do, and there's a lot of variety of what they're doing. But this right here, I'm going to showcase the ones I use. I use a dessert, and this is my fish pancake one, as you can see. This is the one that I can share with people. This is not a requirement for anyone, but I like to do it because I like to share. But I also have those primers, so this hour-long food is normally 2 hours for me. So it's worth it. But it's still worth it even if you don't do it. But this is an option. It's not a requirement. You can still get away with doing the fish thing and no one's going to complain. But this is the one that I craft for DPS. And this is where that soul meat comes into play. And like I said, this right here you can buy off the post. I don't suggest doing it all the time because it's just an annoying thing. You'll use it a lot, and it's going to be used for something else as well. So that's for my DPS. Now for my Condi, I do this one. This is where that flatbread comes in. It's expensive because this part's expensive. The rest of it's not expensive. This thing is. But this one also uses that meat as well. And this one is Condi DPS, or specifically Condi. And it has a chance of stealing life. Same with the other one. So those are the 4 recipes I end up doing, or 3 recipes. And then this one is the celestial one I do, the one with running around people with random armor, because it has all attributes plus 45. There's at least a few of the sesame ones that are like that all have different ones, I think. I was making them for a while, but I stopped doing that because it started getting too expensive, and I just tended to do this. Now, you can also see that you can sell these as well if you have them. I obviously have mine in my inventory, so I couldn't buy them. But if I was to sell all of them right now, they're about 4. Now, you might be like, why is that the case? Because these are sesame seeds. Some of the seeds are more valuable than others because not like most people who are using ascended food are trying to look for specific boons, which isn't required, but it's kind of cool. But this is a way you can make money back. This is why I said you will make your gold back in no time with cooking, because even if you don't choose to craft all this, say all this is too much work, then you can do this. Also, I think this was another recipe you got from the CERN we just dealt with, and I think you can buy it from him if you don't have the recipe or can't. It's either that or it's a discovery. It's one of the 2. But that's all. So you can just go grab it from him. But you can sell your seeds and make money off that, and it takes no time at all. Even if you did it 4 at a time, you can make 1 of each time, and it would take you just a week to have stuff. Now, here's the problem. This food, when reset happens and I farm it, it will go empty, meaning there'll be nothing here. It'll say open soil again. But if I farm these seeds that aren't like that, they will stay. Now, the reason they stay is because of this particular NPC and because of a different set of achievements, which I believe is like called Dedicated Garden, or I think is what it's called. Let me look for it. Yes, this one. because this is the next achievement we'll do. This one unlocks after you buy one of the Black Lion garden posts, the one that's like 1,000 gems. Don't panic. We're not going to work on this just right away. On my alt account, I'm going to farm and fish until we can get enough to buy it, and then we'll do this achievement as well. But this unlocks a bunch of seeds that the NPC will let you get. Now, I don't know specifically if it's going to, I don't know if specifically if it affects the flowers I'm growing, but you can go to him and you can see how I can buy different seeds from him. These seeds, like I said, they continue to regrow. And it does say mint, don't get confused, it's just basic mint, not ascended mint. But these right here are the 4 flowers you need. These 2 right here make the food primer. These 2 right here make the utility that we're using. And I believe he sells the recipe for those. Yeah, right here. He sells the recipes for them. There's just a few recipes here for dyes and things, but I like these 2. And they're 80 copper, ain't nothing. Right? But with my alt account, we'll work on this. I don't know if it's going to pop up or not. But if it doesn't, and we have to do the dedicated gardener, we will do that as another achievement video, and I will farm fishing until we can get 1,000 gold to buy it with, or 1,000 gems, because that's how I got all these other garden plots. All these garden plots that I got on my homestead, I got via farming them, like fishing. They literally paid for themselves in time. It took a little bit, but it did work. And like I said, the ascended food will only be harvested once, so you do have to continue making those seeds. So you'd have to craft those meals again, or buy those meals and craft it. It's honestly cheaper to, it depends on the recipe. Some of them are cheaper to buy, some of them are cheaper to craft, so you just have to check your day. These ones, for instance, if you buy a seed and you mess up, and you, say you wanted to have onions here and peppers here, and you put an onion here, you don't have to worry about losing the seed, because it's not, you can just get it back for him for free. But try to be careful if you're planting normal seeds beside ascended, because if you use a normal seed to uproot ascended, it's gone. You can't get it back. And it's not free to get it back like it is for the other thing. It's bullshit. I know. It's a little hard. So make sure that arrow is pointing onto the right thing, that you know what you're picking on. Be very, very careful. And some nodes, like in the Grove, are extremely picky. The one on the homestead's not that bad, but some of them are extremely picky, and it's ridiculous. So just be a little bit mindful when putting down your crops. I wish there was a little bit easier way to do it. I wish you could actually remove a plant beforehand, so then it would be fresh and you wouldn't have to worry about it, but it's not how it is. Anyways, that should be that achievement for gourmet training. And sorry it took so long for us to have to reset all this, but hopefully with that you should be able to be set. And as I said, we'll move to the next bit.
And we can just dance the night away until we can no more. Shake all the hurt away so you can feel and forget